Today, we're going to talk about something that pretty much everyone goes through but almost no one knows how to handle: emotional pain. We're going to look at it through the eyes of the legendary psychoanalyst Carl Jung, who had this totally radical idea that sadness, well, it isn't something to be fixed. He believed it's a powerful signal with a really deep purpose. Let's dive in.
You know that feeling? Maybe it hits you after a tough breakup, or a career that just imploded. Or maybe it's not one big event, but that slow, creeping weight of depression. It feels less like sadness and more like a total erasure. Like the person you thought you were, the one you spent years building, is just gone. And in their place, there's just this terrifying, empty space.
And what does everyone tell you to do? Just get back out there. Rebuild. The advice is always to get back to the person you were before everything fell apart, and to do it fast. But Jung? He argued that doing that is a huge mistake. He believed this pain isn't some kind of malfunction. In fact, he saw it as a desperate rescue mission coming from your own soul.
And this idea is captured perfectly in this amazing metaphor. He said to think of depression as a lady in black. Now, when she shows up at your door, your first instinct is to slam it shut, right? But Jung says no. Don't push her away. Invite her in. Give her a seat. And then, just listen. Listen to the message she's traveled so far from the depths of your being to deliver.
So you might be asking, why does this lady in black even show up in the first place? Well, according to Jung, it often has everything to do with something he called the persona. Let's break down what that means.
So, persona is literally the Latin word for a mask, like the ones actors wore in ancient Greek theater. And that's exactly what it is. It's the social face, the version of ourselves we put together to show the world. It's not necessarily a lie, but it is a performance. It's designed to help us fit in, to be liked, and to avoid being rejected.
Do any of these roles sound a little too familiar? The always on top of it professional. The super easygoing, nice partner who never makes waves. The friend who's the strong one for everybody else. These are some of the most common masks we wear. And we build them piece by piece to get that nod of approval from the outside world.
But here's the catch, the dangerous trade-off. While that mask is out there getting all the applause and validation, our actual self, the one with real, messy needs and feelings and vulnerabilities, is left behind. It's neglected, it's ignored, it's quietly starving in the background. And the real trouble starts when we forget we're even wearing a mask and start to believe we are the performance.
And that's when she arrives. The depression, the crisis, the total collapse, it's your soul finally screaming in the only language you can no longer ignore. It's not a sign that you are broken or dying. It's a sign that the mask, the version of you that was built for everybody else, is, thankfully, falling apart.
Okay, so if the collapse is actually a good thing, how do we turn it into a source of power? Well, it all starts with what Jung called the deliberate descent. It means consciously turning towards the pain instead of doing what we all want to do, which is run like hell away from it. Now, I know this sounds completely backwards. Everything in our culture tells us to fix, to solve, to get better immediately. But Jung's idea is to do the opposite, to just stop, to sit in the rubble of that old identity for a little while, and just listen. Because only then can you stop asking, how do I get back to who I was, and start asking a much, much deeper question. This right here is the question that changes everything. When the show is over, when the audience has all gone home, and that mask you've been wearing for so long is lying on the floor, who is actually left? This is where the real journey begins. And by choosing to go down into that uncertainty, you start to uncover all the parts of yourself you've had to hide away to keep the mask on. This is the next crucial step, confronting and integrating what Jung famously called your shadow. And what do you find down there in the dark? All the stuff you pushed away for years starts to come to the surface. That anger you were always told was too much or difficult. That deep need for rest you told yourself was weakness or laziness. That profound sadness that just didn't make sense for the happy person you were supposed to be. And here's the big twist. We've been taught to see these difficult, messy feelings as the problem, as the disease we need to cure. Jung says, no, you've got it all wrong. They aren't the disease, they are the diagnosis. They're like an inner compass pointing directly to where your life went off track and showing you exactly what your true self has been starved of.
See how this completely shifts the goal of your life? You move away from this fragile, totally exhausting pursuit of being perfect, which, let's be honest, means hiding half of who you are, and you move towards the much more powerful and resilient goal of being whole. Wholeness doesn't mean being flawless. It means you accept and integrate all the parts of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that is what makes you fundamentally unshakable.
So, once you've stopped running, once you've started listening to the diagnosis, that's when you can finally begin to build your life on a new foundation. A foundation of truth, not of performance. Jung had a special term for this ultimate goal: individuation. It sounds complicated, but it's really just the lifelong process of peeling away all those layers of social conditioning, all those masks you thought you had to wear, to finally uncover and live as your most authentic, integrated self. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be.
And this isn't some abstract philosophical idea. It has very real practical effects on your life. You'll probably find yourself saying no a lot more. You might even lose some friends who, it turns out, were only friends with your mask. You become okay with being misunderstood sometimes, because for the first time you are truly understood by you. And the result is this deep inner solidity that no outside loss can ever take away again.
And so we come full circle. That painful, terrifying arrival of the lady in black was never about destroying you. It was about demolition. It was the necessary act of clearing away a fragile, fake structure to make room for you to build something real, something solid, something that can actually hold the weight of your true life.
And that leaves us with one final thought to take with you. The next time you feel that sadness or that anxiety, don't just try to push it away. Ask yourself this: if this feeling is a messenger, what is it trying so desperately to tell me? What is the one vital truth about my life that I've been refusing to hear? Because the answer to that question, well, it could be the beginning of everything.